Okay, now we are in chapter 11. In chapter 11, we are going to discuss creating summary reports. So in this chapter 11, there are three subtopics to be covered. The first is the FREQ procedure. Second is the means and universal procedures. And the third is using the output delivery system. Okay, let's discuss the FREQ procedure. Okay, we have three objectives to achieve in this topic, which is the first one is produce a one-way and two-way frequency tables with FREQ procedure. And the second is enhance frequency tables with options. And the third is PROC FREQ. Use PROC FREQ to validate data in a such data set. Okay, so let's say we have this kind of business scenario, which is Orion Star management wants to know the number of male and female sales employees in Australia. Okay, our considerations in order to produce the statistic that management wants to produce is we are going to use the FREQ procedure to analyze the gender variables in a subset of Orion.sales. So this is the expected table that we are going to produce. Okay, now FREQ procedure. Okay, what is the FREQ procedure? The FREQ procedure produces a one-way frequency table for each variable named in the table's statement. Okay, this is the example of the programs that can be used to produce table. And this is the general form of the programs for when you are using the FREQ procedure statement. Okay, so the first line, as in the general forms, it is stated the FREQ data equal to the data that you are data references to be to use in order to produce the table, and then followed the second line, which is this is the statement in the form of options, which is we can use or we can omit. Okay, so in this in this second line, we are using table statement, which is state the tables, then followed by the name of variables to be created, okay, in the tables, and then followed by any options in the table statement, then followed by the run semicolon. Keep in mind if the tables statement in the omit is omitted. Okay, if the tables statement is omitted, as here, okay, options, okay, a one-way frequency table is produced for every variables in the data set. Okay, this means there are so many information will be produced. Okay, if you are not state any variables in the tables, or you are omitting the tables statement here. Okay, this can produce a large amount of output and is seldom preferred. Okay, viewing the output, a one-way frequency table was created for gender. It lists the discrete values found in the data set and the number of observations in which the variable has that value. So this is the viewing out of the output by using the PROC FREQ. Okay, the default output includes frequency and percentage value, including cumulative statistics. Okay, so the informations includes of the name of variables that we are state in the options tables, and then followed by the frequency, then by the percent and cumulative frequency, and the last is cumulative percent. Okay, as stated in the previous slide, so we have seen that there are some informations provided by the default statistics by using the tables options. Okay, as we can see here in the table, in the general form of the tables options, okay, stated that here tables is followed by the name of variables to be created, information to be created, okay, and then followed by the list of options. So here is the option that we can use in order to suppress statistic as producers from the table's default statistics. Okay, among the options that we can use in order to suppress the informations is no cum, which is to suppress the cumulative statistics. Another one is no percent. It is used to suppress the percentage display. So as we can see here is the table that produces by using the default statistic from the table options, from the tables statement. And then we want to, if we want to suppress by using no cum, so the information to be deleted from the table is the cumulative frequency and also the cumulative percent. For the no percent options, it will be suppress or delete the information of percent and cumulative percent. Okay, let's do short answer poll. Open and submit P11A01. Review the log to determine the cause of the error. Correct and submit the program. What change was needed? So this is the results that after we run the program just now. So let's take a look. Okay, now do the same programs, but use the other variables as stated here, and answer the questions below, which variable are most appropriate for a frequency analysis and why. So do your task, run it in the SAS programs, and then answer the questions. Thank you. Okay, the next business scenario that we can use PROC FREQ is Orion Star Management wants to know how many sales employees are in each country, as well as the count of males and females. Okay, by using table statement, we can list multiple variables in a table statement. A separate table is produced for each variable. So by using the tables, we can provide tables simultaneously for many variables. Okay, for example here gender, country, and we can add more number of variables here, depends on the programmers. Okay, so let's say we have tables gender, country, which means we are going to produce table for gender and also for the country. So this is the PROC FREQ output that we are produced from the PROC FREQ PROC FREQ command, which is involved of tables statement, includes of two variables, gender and country. So this is for gender. Another one is country, which is not stated here. Okay, the next method in order to produce the tables in PROC FREQ stat is by using by statement. So by statement is used to request separate analysis for each by groups. You have to remember that the data set must be sorted or indexed by the variables or variables named in the by statement. So this is example of the command that involve of by statement. So in this command, we are going to produce table gender, but it is separately produced based on the type of country. For example, we have AU and AS. This means we will produce gender tables, okay, but it is separately produced on the two country. But you have to remember that you have to use PROC sort, okay, in which in the by statement you have to state the country. Okay, after we submit the program in the previous slide, so we get the two tables of gender, which is separately produced based on country AU and country US. Okay, in order to produce cross-tabulation table, we can also use table statement to produce this kind of tables. So we have to use an asterisk between the two variables in which will generate a two-way frequency table or cross-tabulation table. A two-way frequency table generates a single table with statistics for each distinct combinations of values of the selected variables. So this is example of the command in the PROC FREQ that involve table statement that will be produced the cross-tabulation table, in which the row will be the gender and the column will be country. So this is the output can be produced from the submitted program in the previous. You can see here you have the row of the gender and the country is the column. Okay, in order to suppress or remove some statistic or some informations in the cross-tabulation table, so we can use options in the table statement. So there are several numbers of options that we can use in the table statement, which is includes of no row, which is to suppress the display of the row percentage, and no col is to suppress the display of the columns percentage, and no percent is to suppress the percentage display, and the last one is no FREQ to suppress the frequency display. Okay, so this is the example of how the options work in order to suppress certain informations based on the options given in the previous slide. For example, we have no FREQ here. So no FREQ will suppress the row here. Okay. And also for no percent will suppress the informations on the second row here. Okay, so this is for no row, okay, which is will remove on the third row, and no call will be remove the information on the fourth row. Okay, for the list and cross list options, we can also use the list and cross list options in the tables statement to flatten the output. Okay, instead of using the cross table, okay, we use the list options and cross list options in order to produce another way of tables, which is for the list options, we have this kind of table, and the cross list, we produce this kind of table. Okay. Okay, another use of the PROC FREQ step is to validate the data whether it is clean or not. So let's see the business scenario. A new data set, Orion.sales2, must be validated. It contains information about non-sales employees and might include invalid and missing values. Okay, this is the PROC PRINT or the display of the dataset of Orion.non-sales2. So we can see here there is salary that is missing, and another is the country AU. It should be a capital. Okay, our considerations, we will use the FREQ procedure to screen for valid, missing, and duplicate data values. Requirement of non-sales employee data. For employee underscore ID, values must be unique and not missing. For gender, must be F or M, and job underscore title must be not be missing, and country must have a value of AU or US, capital AU or capital US, and the salary values must be in the numeric range of 24,000 to 50,000. Okay, let's see a short answer poll. What problem exists with the data in this partial data set? So there are 7 data problems. Okay, so this is the 7 problem as mentioned here. So we have the employee data. This is the problems, and then this is the problems of missing values, and then this is gender, which is supposed to be include only F and M, and G is not the category in the gender. And also the salary, we have the missing values, and then this is less than is not in the range, and then this is missing values for the text, and then this is country AU in the small letter, which should be in the capital letter. So that is the 7 data problems. Okay, other than producing the tables, FREQ procedure also can use for data validations. Okay, in the FREQ procedure, list all discrete values for a variable and report missing values. In order to do that, the table must be mentioned about the options of no, com, and no percent. So the reports will be provided only for the gender, okay, in the data set, and the country in the data set. Okay, after the program is submitted, we have this kind of informations, okay, in which we have gender, F, G, and M in the data set. So as highlighted here, G equals to 1 frequency, which means we have observations in the data set categorized with G, in which it is not intended in the data set. And then for the frequency of the missing, we have 1 missing here. For the variables country, we have the data set which is categorized as capital AU country, capital letter of AU country, and capital letter US country. And also there is small letter of country AU and small letter of US, in which also this is the small letter is not intended in data set. Okay, another method of validations of data set by using PROC FREQ, we can use NLEVELS Options. The NLEVELS Options display a table that provides the number of distinct values for each analysis variable. As we can see here, the NLEVELS is put on the PROC FREQ statement, which is at the end of the PROC FREQ statement here, as highlighted here. In general, so this is the way of writing the programs for how we are use the NLEVELS. So this is an example of information can be produced when we put the NLEVELS options in the PROC FREQ step. You can see here then the information of as red circle red. Okay, as this is the information given after we submit the PROC FREQ step when we are using the NLEVEL options. So this is information provided when we are using NLEVEL option, in which we have the level for each of the variables here. For example, we have gender, okay, which levels 4. Okay, 1 levels is for missing levels, and for non-missing levels will be 3, which is F, G, and M. Similar to the country, we have 4 levels, which is there's no missing levels, and for non-missing levels, we have AU capital, US capital letter, and AU small letters, and US small letter. So that's how NLEVELS works in PROC FREQ step. Okay, we can also check whether the data is unique or not, meaning that unique is cannot be repeated one more time. For example, we have employee underscore ID, in which we expect that employee ID should be unique values and not repeated. In order to check that uniqueness, we can also use PROC FREQ step, in which we use the options order equals FREQ. The order equals FREQ options displays the results in descending frequency order. Okay, we can see here that after we submit the PROC FREQ step, in which consists of order equals to FREQ options, the data or the variables will be sorted or ordered based on the frequency. So we can see here the employee ID is sorted based on frequency, in which here the employee ID 120108 is equal to 2, in which is not unique. And we can see here, by using the order equals to FREQ, there is also information provided on the missing values, which is equals to 1 frequency. Okay, another use of NLEVELS, it can be also used to identify duplicates when the number of distinct values is known. This example used the NOPRINT option to suppress the frequency table. Only the number of variables levels table is displayed. So this is the information we can get when we submit the PROC FREQ step with the NLEVELS together with NOPRINT, which is, we can see here, the employee underscore ID, we have level 234, which is we have 234 different observations or values. Okay, so in this we have 1 missing values, and for non-missing values levels we have 333. So actually there are 235 employees, but there are only 234 distinct employees underscore ID values. Therefore, there is 1 duplicate value and 1 missing value for employee underscore ID. Furthermore, NLEVEL option also can be used together with underscore all underscore keyword and with the NOPRINT options in order to display the number of levels for all variables without displaying frequency counts. So this is the way of how we write the command or the statement. Okay, so this is the information we can get from the outputs when we submit the PROC FREQ step in the previous slide, which is, as mentioned in the previous, the NLEVELS with the underscore all underscore and NOPRINT options will provide you the data, the informations without the tables, the frequency tables, as this is. In which underscore all underscore will provide you the all variables, okay, with each levels and missing levels and non-missing levels. So let's take some short answer pool. Modify the P11A02 to analyze job underscore title. Display the NLEVELS table listing the frequency counts in decreasing order. How many unique or non-missing job titles exist? Which job title occurs most frequently? And what is the frequency of missing job titles? As we discussed in the previous topics on the PROC FREQ, the PROC FREQ is uncovered the existence of invalid data values for gender, country, and employee underscore ID. Therefore, we can use PROC PRINT to display the observations with invalid values. For example, this is the programs in order to display the invalid observations, in which we are using the where statement. So in where statement, we are using the operator in order to display specific observations that is not intended in the, or that is invalid in the data set. For example, for the gender variables, we don't want to display, we can display the others from the capital F and M by using not in operator. Also, for the country, we can display the other observations for capital letter of AU and capital letter of US by using not in operator. For the job title or job underscore title, we are using the operator is null to produce to display the observations in job underscore title that is missing. Also, for employee underscore ID, we are using operator is missing, okay, or equal, operator equal, to display the observation is missing and observations equals to 120108 for employee underscore ID. Okay, this is the PROC print output produces from the command PROC print step, in which all the observation here are not includes of invalid data set. For example, for the first row, we can see here we have the country in the country category is written in the small AU letter. For the observations 14, we can see here there is missing values for employee underscore ID. And for the observation 10, we can also identify here the missing value for the job underscore title. So that's how the PROC print works in order to identify the invalid values in an observations. Okay, so we are still in the discussion of frequency procedure, and another business scenario here to be solved is the manager of human resources requested a report that shows the number and the percent of sales employees who are hired each year. Okay, the use of format in PROC FREQ. A format statement can be used in PROC FREQ to format the data values. So as here in the PROC FREQ, we state the format statement, which is to format the data values of higher. Okay, so this is the output of PROC FREQ. Okay, and we can see here the higher underscore date is in the form of the specific dates, in which it is many discrete values and not what the manager requested, in which the manager wants the in the form of yearly basis. So in order to get the values or the data in the form of yearly basis, so we have to change the format of higher underscore date in the form of year 4 format. And after we submit, we get this data values, which is in the yearly basis, and it is fewer the discrete values compared to the previous one. So let's take a short answer pool. Open and submit P111 A03 and view the output. Add a statement to apply the tiers format to salary and resubmit the programs. Can user-defined format be used to group data? So answer these questions by using the submitted program in the P111 A03. So this is the correct answer. Okay, we can also use user-defined format in order to display labels with alternative text in a frequency table. So this is how the format is written in order to produce display labels with alternate text in a frequency table. For example, you have the user-defined count CTRYFMT. It provides in order to give labels to the country, for each of the country. For example, we have AU, okay, abbreviations of AU, but now we want to in the form of full name of AU, which is Australia, and also US for United States. And also for gender, previously we have created gender user-defined formats for gender, which is for F, we give label for F as female and M for male. So as we can see here, after we submit the programs, okay, so it is in the form of full names of the label. For example, here previously we are using AU for Australia, but now it is in the form of Australia, and US for United States. Also, it is happened for gender, which is previously in the form of capital F, which is changed into the female, and for M changed to male. However, the label is here is in the form of wrapped, which is a bit messy, and we have to change it. Okay, in order to change the wrap labels, so we have to use the options which is stated in the table statement. the option is format equal. So format equals is in the table statement is to format the frequency value and to change the width of the columns. So whatever values that we are given in the format equals, okay, it is refer to the width of the columns. So in order to make the name is in the form of unwrapped, so we have to make it the width is fit to the name of the level. For example, here we give 13 width for the width. Then after we submit the programs, we have this kind of output, which is no longer wrapped. Okay, so that's all. For any questions, you can ask the lecturer to answer the questions.